By the way, Mr. is a maritime term which then makes you a corporation. You're a captain of a ship. That's why I'm calling you Mr. Tex Mars. That person. Please don't tell me it was because your audience wanted it there. Why would you promote a book you don't like or agree with? This proves once again your shillery. What's wrong, Tex, with his publisher? Is it because they're not on the CIA list of recommended publishers, CIA publishers? A book so wanted, Vatican Assassins 2, it's fetched as much as like $300 to $800, probably more, I might have missed, on these online auctions, for instance. Why would people, for God's sake, be willing to part with so much money for something which is of no use and has a bad reputation? Answer me this, Mr. Tex Mars, and please don't claim it's because people haven't read it before they've bought it. They're buying based on what many have said and on their recommendations. So, you've exposed the Jesuits, have you, Mr. Tex Mars? Are you a Jesuit authority, Mr. Tex Mars, as we've said earlier? Where's your Jesuit book, Mr. Tex Mars? Why is Eric the authority on the Jesuits then? So it's okay, is it, Tex, basically, to claim the Illuminati have created all offence from 1776, but it's not okay for us to say the same of the Jesuits, who in fact control their created Illuminati. Again, it's pure hypocrisy. Tex is simply trying to discredit while screwing himself over right now. Do we still need this Mr. Tex Mars around? I personally think not. We need rid of all these Roman lackeys. Now some even bigger bunkum comes from Tex Mars. Now he claims that Eric Phelps hates people who believe 9/11 was an inside job, claiming that Eric makes out they're a Jesuit in hiding. What is this overweight, hormonally injecting meat-eating idiot on? Eric Phelps exposes 9/11 as an inside job, but goes further and names actual names and real orders in charge, such as the CIA, Mossad, British Intelligence, Maltese Knights, Cardinal Egan, etc., etc. How's he calling them conspiracy theorists and blah blah blah, like these people are trying to make out? I just can't believe what I'm hearing from this great lump. Eric exposes the intelligence network control of these so-called 9/11 truth movements, such as this Canadian SIS agent and the Knight of Malta, Alfred Weber, or Webbery, which Tex Mars is sticking up for. Look, people, just study Eric's work before you believe this complete suppressionist Mr. Tex Mars. And your eyes will be opened very quickly to the truth, and these guys will fall into a fiery pit as they should have years ago. Like the Bible says, we're living in a time of deceit. And these are the great deceivers, the false prophets. So, Mr. Tex Mars, you have all these Vatican videos, do you, right? Do you once name it as the head of the dragon? And what about Jesuit videos, Tex? Why is it you have all these videos, yet I have needed to learn all my information from Eric John Phelps on the Vatican? And I've used other people as well, but Eric John Phelps is my main one. And you were supposed to be the be all and end all. It's funny that, isn't it? Now Alex tries to claim that we say the Vatican is the only one with evil and all this crap. The Vatican is the most evil, controlling everything. But not only the Vatican can be evil, for God's sake. I mean, your neighbours can be evil, you can be evil, your sister can be evil. He's trying to make us look stupid, when in fact he says we're far from it. He ain't very good at lying. You've got to have a good memory to be a good liar, and he ain't got that. Not in this case. Apart from what's being programmed into his head, what documents, but never the deep part of it. Just this low level. CIA want you to know. And then they got the next shill that he's allowed to tell the higher level truth seekers that little bit more. And then it gets to the point where that's it, then it's stuck. But we've progressed past that and they don't like it. We can't have these new teachings coming back. Well, they're not new. They're old teachings of truth, what the Jesuits once suppressed. but we're bringing them back. We're bringing true history. We get Alex Jones diss us and on about us giving history lessons and things like that. Well, that's what everything's about. True history, not Jesuit constructed history and suppressed history. But Alex Jones don't like true history. So can't say that the Vatican is the evil of evils. I mean, what a pathetic comment from a very pathetic man, really. I mean, just as William Cooper pointed out earlier. I mean, so tell me, Tex, what do you mean by Eric giving some truth? Can you tell us what these truths are? So now, Alex, you decide to claim Eric now says that these mythical black magic rituals are done in Foo Fighters. I thought it was planes before. Are you trying to confuse as well as be stupid? Do you, Alex Jones, or Alex CIA Jones, actually understand why God separated his creations in the first place? His peoples, his races. This is why people of different races should be apart from one another, and they were. Are you all Babylonian mystery religion people in support of Babylon the Great? Seems that way. So Alex Jones, do you actually live in a real multicultural world like I have to? Do you see the problems from race mixing? And forced race mixing as it is? Obviously not. Do you understand human DNA, Alex Jones? No. Go and do some homework and live in the reality for once. All races on earth will be far happier with their own nation and own people. If everyone had the same opportunities free from the Maltese birdcage, then one wouldn't need to desire to live on another's land with different races. The desire is only for the money and the lifestyle, which is gradually disintegrating. This is evident from all the Africans rolling into my country for the welfare state. It's getting to the point now where I don't see the typical black Englishman. We're now seeing all the Somali type blacks everywhere, more than even the normal black that was here originally. Enoch Powell didn't want bringing in for the reason that's going on now. How true was he? Well, he knew what the agenda was behind it. I mean, wake up, Alex, right, and stop twisting Alex race information. If everybody sits back and thinks about it, they should realise what's being said is correct. And like black people who don't fully agree with Eric on this subject, that's because they're black and they're living in our lands and having our freedoms. Would you honestly think that you should go somewhere else if you're here? You don't work that way. So this is why some people who are black who follow Eric Phelps on most issues can't get their head round that. If everybody sits back, like I just said, they're going to understand it. They've got to start using open minds and see what's going on and how blacks are being manipulated against us and against themselves. And they've got to know who by and what the agendas behind it is. There's so many blacks, they've got to also they're being taught false history and claiming it's black history, and a lot of it's bunkum. It's been put there to make them believe that they're more somebody than they actually were, and that we've suppressed them even more than we did, and we did suppress them a lot, and did the things to them. But it's just agitation by the Vatican to get gear up for what's coming with all these race riots shortly, which, funny enough, who's going to be behind them? Jesse Jackson. Oh, we've already got the protests ready for when McCain wins, because if he wins, it's a fraud. So therefore then, if it was a real election, and McCain did genuinely win, oh, it don't matter to Jesse Jackson, he's still going to have his thing and claim it was a fraud. More than likely will be a fraud, an outright fraud like the 2000 coup with Al Gore. More so than that fraud 2004, which weren't a coup or a steal. Bush did win it. But they like to harp on the agents like Alex Jones about the 2004 election being stolen from John Kerry, but they never talk about the 2000 election being stolen from Al Gore. I can't stand Al Gore. He's an agent for Prince Philip, but at the end of the day, that was a stolen election because Al Gore had the vote, period, by a mass majority vote, whereas Kerry didn't. But all these Alex Joneses harp on about the 2004 elections. You understand what I'm saying there? How devious and crafty they are.